Right, my friends, I'm in New York City once more. Now, if you've watched the vlog and you've been watching me in New York, you'll know I've not had much luck with the food around this city, have I? However, today we're going to change that. I've done my research because we're off to the most legendary steakhouse in New York City. It's called KEENS. I've been a couple of times many years ago. Hopefully it hasn't changed because it is superb. It's first class. It's the best steakhouse in New York City. And it was established in 1885, making it over 137 years old. It was a meeting place for actors, publishers and politicians, and not many places can claim they've had famous names, now listen to this, such as Teddy Roosevelt, Albert Einstein and Babe Ruth dine with them. It's got the largest collection, this is interesting and I've seen these, it's got the largest collection of clay pipes anywhere in the world. There's over 90,000 of them on the ceiling, and they represent presidents and actors who used to smoke before their meal, which incidentally is an English tradition. And then there would be pipe wardens come round after and collect the pipes before they started eating. Now, believe it or not, their signature dish isn't steak. The most popular dish, even though it's a steakhouse, is actually a mutton chop, which is $29 at lunch, which I think is a bargain for a steakhouse like this. Now, if you like lamb, I've done my research into the mutton as well. If you like lamb, then you'll love the mutton chop because it's gamier, it's fattier, and it's easier to cut into as well. The place is literally steeped in history, my friends, and I cannot wait. Now, if you're new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications of when I upload new videos. Now, without further ado, let's go. Oh, I've got to tell you, I've got a little bit of a dab on. Whew, it's a bit warm. I'm going to have to take this this coat off, so I thought I'd do this on camera, and then we've got no continuity issues, have we? It's actually warm. God, for February. Right, there we go. Pop that in the backpack, and we're off. Onwards, my friends. Plus, it also gives me a good chance to show off the merch, doesn't it? That you can get, you know, down below or at the end in the link below. A little bit of shameful, or is it shameless? Shameful promotion there. Come on, onwards. Macy's here. Famous department store. Still prefer Primark though. Right, here we are, my friends, at KEENS, the most famous steakhouse in the whole of New York City. As I say, I've been before. I had the filet mignon. It was about 12 years ago, I'd say, with a mate of mine, an old mate of mine, and he had like, I think he had a T-bone or something like that. It was absolutely insane. It was huge. But today, as I say, we're going in there for the mutton chop, because that, believe it or not, is what they're famous for. So let's get in there. In fact, Anthony Bourdain has done an episode here as well, if you can find that one on YouTube. Come on, let's get in there Okay, so we've got
So
Gary.
this dining room is a homage to one of the original enterprises in one of the 3 townhouses that comprises this extraordinary restaurant. And that enterprise was the American outpost of the Lambs Club, which was a theatrical guild from England, and Albert Keene was its manager. So this room is called the Lambs Room, and it's decorated with photographs of actors and actresses who were members of the club. And we have an amazing 1898 Alexander Pope painting of a tiger on the wall here. And when the restaurant opened in 1885, the theater was starting to become a very big business. So there were playwrights that became theater owners. So over here we have a signed photograph of David Belasco, who was a playwright who eventually became a theater owner. And to this day, the Belasco Theater is in Times Square. These 3 buildings are actually 3 of the last remaining buildings in this area from when Herald Square was the northern border of the theater district. Signed photograph of Joseph Jefferson, who for many years made a living on Broadway playing Rip Van Winkle. And in Chicago, there is a series of awards called the Joseph Jefferson Awards, given to actors who achieve greatness there. And this is the Alexander Pope painting. And if you look in the foreground, you can see that there's a very, very small outline of a mouse.
Oh. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Is that...
And then over here is a photograph of Lily Langtry, who was King Edward's paramour, and in 1905 sued to gain entrance into the club because until that time men were not permitted in the establishment, and her lawsuit was financed by male members of the club. They wanted women.
Wow.
Yes. And so this is the Lambs Room.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And this will be open tonight?
This will be fully operational tonight. I mean, one of the things about this dining room is that, you know, we've got these beautiful round tables that can seat up to 12 people. Tonight, I believe along the wall here, we're going to do a seating for 15 people.
And all these pipes on the ceiling as well.
So in 1885, $5, you get you a lifetime membership in the Pipe Club. So we have 7 different rooms, 6 different dining rooms. All the dining rooms have pipes on the ceiling, and they're all former members' pipes. And then over here, we have probably our most famous piece of memorabilia. This is the program that President Abraham Lincoln had with him the night he was assassinated. And this is an article telling the story of the program. The program was taken by an assistant carpenter at the Ford Theater, who then eventually made his way to New York and sold it to someone in the theater business. And that's how Albert Keene was able to attain it, because among his many talents, he was also a theatrical producer.
Wow.
This is a miniaturized version of the wanted poster that was issued for Wilkes Booth and his co-conspirators. This is Wilkes Booth's mother. This is Wilkes Booth's brother. Wilkes Booth's brother was also an actor. There is a statue of him in Gramercy Park, and he was also one of the founders of the Players Club, and he lived on the top floor of that building, which still stands on Gramercy Park South in the Gramercy Park area of Manhattan. This is an entry from Wilkes Booth's diary, and this is a replica of the Derringer that was used in the assassination, and this is the newspaper from the next day, April 15th. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated on April 14th, 1865. April 14th is also a significant date in that that is the date that the Titanic hit the iceberg in 1912. So this is the Bull Moose Room, which was named after the splinter political party that Teddy Roosevelt formed in 1912 to run for president for an unprecedented third term. And so it's decorated with some extraordinary hand-painted postcards of different spots in New York City. When we talked about something about a significant date, this is a photo postcard of a subway accident that took place in Manhattan. And in those days, the subway ran uptown on 6th Avenue, downtown on 9th Avenue, and there was a connector at 53rd Street. The train went to turn at 53rd Street, was going too fast, fell off the track. People exited this car, through this person's apartment. These buildings still stand, and this accident took place on September 11th, 1905. This is a very cool piece here. This is a pennant from the Centennial Exhibition that took place in Philadelphia in 1876, celebrating 100 years of the United States. At that exhibition, Alexander Graham Bell was there with his invention of the telephone. He was buried in the back. Alexander Graham Bell worked with deaf kids. One of the families that he helped was the Emperor of Brazil. The Emperor of Brazil saw him there, brought him forward for a display of the telephone, and that's how the phone was discovered in the United States.
Right, okay, my friends. So it is a bit dark in here, but we're going to look at the menu first. Like I say, we're going to go for the lunch special, which is the taste of mutton. It's at $29, and we're also going to get, I think we'll get a glass of red wine. But just take a close look at the menu, my friends. Okay, my friends, so I've actually ordered the taste of mutton. I've asked them to slice it as well, because the gentleman said you're better off having it sliced rather than trying to saw through it yourself. I've had it medium as well. It comes with a little bit of mint jelly on the side as well, and some veal juice over the top of it as well. I've got some bread, also got some butter. I've gone for the glass of wine as well, and I've gone for the Cabernet Sauvignon. Cabernet Sauvignon, Rodney. There we go. Let's taste this. Wow. Yeah, that's got fruity notes, and I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about really, but it tastes nice. I'll see you guys in a minute. Friends, well, this looks absolutely spot on, I have to say. I've asked them to slice it up for me because they recommended that for me. Before we go any further though, take a closer look, my friends. Right, okay, so let's try a little piece of this. Here we go. Oh wow. Oh wow. That is really, really very, very juicy. And I thought it was going to be a little tougher than this, but it's quite, to be fair, quite tender. Absolutely gorgeous. Very tender. I had it medium, but for me, Cooked to, wow, that is absolutely amazing. Once you bite into it, it starts to melt in your mouth, and it has got a little bit of a gamey taste to it. That is unbelievable. Wow. I'm going to cut it into slightly smaller pieces. It's very dark in here, but I can assure you this is absolutely spot on, first class. So tasty. Right, now don't forget we're marking this out of 10, but this, now as I say, they did say it's a little fatty. There is a little bit of fat on it, which is to be expected. I'm going to try some of this jelly here. Here we go. Try a little bit of that. Not sure about this, but we'll try it. Right, let's try the jelly. Here we go. Actually, wow. I'm going to have some more of that. It's quite sweet. That is nice. Right, I'm going to enjoy this. At last, a nice meal. I just need my pipe. I'll see you guys in a bit. Right, it's actually quite dark in here, so we're going to sum this up outside, but that mint jelly is fantastic. I can't get enough of it. It's really quite sweet, and it adds to the flavour as well of the mutton. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is some of the best food that I've tasted. I'm really, really, really impressed, and I would have never have thought of having this at a steakhouse. It's fantastic, absolutely gorgeous. I'll see you guys outside. Oh. Right, okay my friends, let's get down to business. I've got to tell you, that was absolutely amazing. I wasn't expecting that at all, because the last 2 times I've been there I've had steak, and you go there and you think you'd have steak because it's a steakhouse basically, isn't it? It's a chop house as well, I guess. It says chop house, no, steakhouse it says on the front. So you'd have steak. In the last 2 times I've been there, I've gone for steak, but I would never think of having mutton. And wow, I am so glad that I had it, because it was so tasty. There was a slight crispiness to a part of it, a very slight crispiness to the part of it. It was a little bit, it's a fattier meat, but it was juicy, it was tender. It was gorgeous, and I'd highly, if you're going to have it sliced ready, because it is a bit funny to sort of like cut into it as well. Even though it's tender, it's a bit, just have it cut and sliced. That's the way that they suggested it, and it was perfect. The mint jelly, I wasn't going to have that. I thought, I'm not sure about that, and I couldn't get enough of it. Don't pass on the mint jelly. It's fantastic. For me, the whole bill came to $45.72 in total, because I gave a 20% tip, which you do in Manhattan, in New York. Came to $54.12. I mean, my house red was $13. Get a bottle of that at Aldi, I guess. But it was fantastic. It was so tasty, I can't tell you. Score-wise, well, the service was amazing, absolutely amazing service. So they deserved the 20% tip. And the juice that was over the top of it as well, over the meat, was phenomenal. The meat was phenomenal. Honestly, I can't recommend the place enough. That is, for me, I'd go back 100%. Absolutely fantastic. And would I have it again? I'd have the mutton again over the steak, 100%. Score-wise, 10 plus, a 10 plus. Absolutely fantastic. For me, that is the best steakhouse in New York City, and it's steeped in history, my friends. Honestly, can't recommend it enough. There you go. Thank you very much. And I've got the guys. The guy, what's his name? Gary Bernstein. Absolutely fantastic. Can I just say, he was a gentleman that showed me around. He's the manager.
Hey.
I'd like to say hi to Gary because I'm going to send him this video as well. And wow, yeah, brilliant for me. I mean, I'm babbling on, but I obviously I lived in New York for 12 years. For me, that's the best food I've ever had. Fantastic. KEENS Steakhouse, New York City. Do me a favour, hit the subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications of when I upload new videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Oh, and the silver fox, my mate Martin missed out. He was going to come with me. So, hi. So there we go. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. And then there would be pipe wardens that had come round after they've smoked the pipe to collect them before they're eating. Now, believe it or not, their signature dish is also their most popular dish, because even that's crap. Not many places can claim they've had hosts and famous names. That's crap.